on that red side, stable red side band. And now, what are we looking at last here? We're going to go with perhaps a Sivir band. Betko did very well on that champion. And no Lee Sin and Vayne.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Vayne against Betko is a pretty typical band. And Riven is a champion that we haven't seen in a little while. Here in Champions, anyway.
Apple can play top lane Riven, though, is the thing. So
yeah.
It'd be an interesting pickup this early on. And
yeah,
probably will be switched over to something else.
Yeah, I feel like if they do pick it, yeah, there we go. Okay. And this could very well be a top lane Yasuo as well. Kuro kind of known more for those AP mid-champions than the AD ones. So
yeah, he's Syndra, Orianna,
yeah.
Gragas. These are champions that he really specializes in. He's good at creating zones with the abilities to kind of sit on the ground like all three of them have. And that is his specialty. And there we go.
Oh, okay.
Thresh up, both Thresh and Annie available this game.
It's funny, we've got two Zyra mains facing off against each other in
That's
support.
True, yeah.
Yeah, Lasha versus Kinch. Two of the great Zyra players here in Korea. And will we just see the Sivir Shyvana pickup? No, Caitlyn Shyvana, not bad as well. There we go. I kind of like the Caitlyn a little bit better, honestly.
Better in lane in most situations, but you really can't discount the power of Sivir's ultimate. I mean, it's just incredibly strong.
Two more picks over to the Incredible Miracle 2 side. And who will it be? Support Xerath? Not until patch 4.2. Or 4.3, I guess. We always have to wait a little bit extra time for the reworks.
That's right.
Which is good.
Yeah, it won't be available for a little while, even after we switch over to 4.2.
You think Cloud Templar is going to come out of retirement and play Skarner again?
No.
Oh, well.
He was.
That's true. We already talked about this.
He's not too thrilled, actually. I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't think it. He doesn't. He just thinks that Skarner didn't change that much.
Yeah. Well, it's true. He didn't really change that much. Not enough, anyway, it seems. We'll see.
So Evelynn up and ready to be taken by Reignover, of course. Lucian, Thresh, very safe lane if you're going in here, but Annie and Caitlyn is a very strong lane.
Yeah.
With a huge amount of zone pressure, and I imagine that's what we're going to be seeing out of the Jin Air Falcons. Karuna will go ahead and grab the Gragas immediately.
Not gradually grabbing Gragas, but gratuitously
instantly
grabbing Gragas.
Yes, he's so forward with his Gragas grabbing.
Yep.
Though I wouldn't want to grab Gragas. It seems kind of gross.
Me neither, yeah. No. Less said about that, the better. You know, I feel like Gragas could be doing a lot more with that beard, you know? Because he's only got, like, you know, 2 or 3 little, like, ring things on it. And I've seen that picture of the guy online that has a beard that's shaped like a windmill and stuff like that. Gragas could beat that tenfold. He could have, like, a whole village with his mustache and beard. He's missing a lot of opportunities here.
Truly, his beardscaping needs to be taken to the next level.
No kidding. Get with it, Gragas. Come on. It's really his drinking problem. That's what's holding him back in life.
Well,
always feels like somebody else is in control of things. That's just a summoner, actually. And will we see that LeBlanc in the mid lane? Ooh, Zach in the top lane. Cool. All right. Apple kicking it a bit old school there.
That's a little bit of hard matchup for Zach, but they will have great dive and engage. And if you want to run a tower dive with Evelynn and Zach are 2 great champions to set that up. But they're not going to have a lot of split pushing power, so Jin Air Falcons will have that edge on them. And there's, of course, with the Zyra Caitlyn lane again, was very successful, or can be very successful, and just due to the long-range poke and the fast push. I mean, Jin Air Falcons, and there's the Nunu, they may want to fast push this just because they have Gragas as well. So if you can get those rapid rotations going with a blood-boiled Caitlyn, really fantastic.
You know, the thing is with that Nunu in there as well and the Caitlyn lane, do you think they may want to try 2v1ing to try to pull?
Probably.
Because then you can pull Evelynn
into lane.
Lane, exactly, yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. I would agree, though. I think it's the most likely thing, especially against the Zach that doesn't have a lot of good wave clear early.
Right.
I think it would be very smart of the Jin Air Falcons to go ahead and 2v1.
Yeah, we've seen it work many times before, and I am maybe already in a bit of a predicament here in picks and bans. We'll see how they handle it.
It depends. We go over this a lot, but
Yeah.
we see the Nunu a lot in the Korean jungle scene, and it is never truly effective unless SK Telecom T1K uses it. You really want to abuse that fast blood boil and get the pressure on the towers early, and then just make rotations with your jungler and break down the outer ring as fast as you can, and then counter jungle with him after that.
Yep.
Oftentimes Korean teams, they wait too long to get the Nunu into lane, and he's just not very useful. He becomes basically a ward bot with a fast sightstone.
Yeah. Well, there's the rosters. Zach making his 3rd appearance now in the qualifiers, which is more than we saw him pretty much the whole winter season.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the revival, but with the new emphasis more on 5v5 and team fighting compositions that we're seeing in the current meta, obviously he's excellent at that.
I agree. I love it when the meta shifts around to team fighting again. It's a lot of fun. And here we go. A spot for Champion Spring on the line right now. Incredible Miracle number 2 versus the Jin Air Falcons. The game is loading up. Who will take it? Who will be our first team of the day to grab one of those spots in Champion Spring? Let's get into the game and find out. And here we go. The winner's match. Incredible Miracle number 2 versus the Jin Air Falcons here on OGN Champion Spring.
Lasha
Nice
just
flash.
flashed.
Sick flash.
Sick flash, bro.
Sick flash, bro. Report Thresh
For flashing.
for flash.
Although Thresh is just a skeleton, so I doubt it's very exciting when he flashes.
I suppose that is true. He went there, you know. He has to stay like 500 yards away from schools at all times.
한 번 더 쏴줄까요? 일처리는 확실하게
So,
좋으니까요. 상냥하게
That's
다뤄주는 게
unfortunate
좋아요.
for Lasha early on. Luckily, nobody knows about it on the Jin Air side.
That's true.
They have no idea that Thresh's flash is not up. It's all part of the mind games. That's what it is. It's like they think I can flash,
But I can't.
but I actually
Truly, this
can't.
gives me no advantage
Yeah.
whatsoever.
You know, I'm telling you, man, I'm still waiting for the time when Thresh can like throw out his like hooked head braids or whatever his head dreads, and like hook a tree and swing through the jungle. That'd be great.
Headbanging must be really painful for him.
Painful for people around him, maybe.
Thresh isn't allowed at heavy metal shows anymore.
Maybe when he headbangs, they like get stuck on his rib cage and he has all sorts of issues. Yeah, look, head dreads, hook dreads.
As opposed to other kinds of dreads?
I don't know. Gragas, man, he could do beard dreads. See, another thing he could do with his beard. And just like we thought, some deep-ish wardings going down. Wardings?
The wardings.
The wardings are going down. Will we see the 2v1, though? That's the question. It doesn't look like it at the moment. No, okay. All right, so they're not going to try to pull this Evelyn out of position. They're going to give Rainover the opportunity.
I really think they should have 2v1'd here.
I agree completely. I mean, yeah, it's harder with the turret changes in 4.1, but still, I mean, the ability to just shut down Evelyn and make sure that you take all the jungle pressure off of your mid lane and your top lane as well. That is pretty important, but whatever.
Yeah, I just like you were saying, that pressure is just so good early on. And
Yeah.
having that advantage, and also just Shyvana will be able to farm better under the tower. And you want to, if you're the Jin Air Falcons, you want to abuse the lack of early wave clear from IM number 2, and this would be a good way to do that. So in this specific circumstance, I do think it was the best possible call, that they are not going to agree. Instead, Real Foxy heading over to his blue right now. The question is, where is he going to go after this? Is he going to go into lane?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. I mean, you still could put a lot of pressure on the bot lane. Oh, speaking of going in the lane, Rainover trying to get that first blood. Oh, Kuro barely can't pick it up. No Ignite used, though.
And also, you'll notice right there, no flash used from Baruna, so not a whole lot happening as a result of that gank.
Yep, just some trading. Not even that much damage overall as well. All the potions used, though, for Baruna, so his sustain will be down a little bit.
Just a hair.
Just a hair.
So here we go. Nunu coming into lane here after he hits level 3.
Okay.
I
more
like
sense.
this at the very least. We'll see if they can actually fast push this efficiently or not. He's not heading into the second brush right now. He may just be looking for a counter gank in case that doesn't come spot. He's kind of covering it. Or they could potentially go for an earlier dragon if they can keep this wave push, but instead, no, Real Foxy just going to back off. I think he was covering in case Rainover was there. Miso.
Huh, I would think they would have seen Rainover head towards top, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. Miso may be in a little bit of trouble here. Rainover in position, Apple there as well, waiting for Miso to push down a little bit farther. They want to make sure they can at least get the flash. There's a slow. They know Miso has burnout. It's easy for Shyvana to just run away. No ultimate yet, of course, for Rainover. Only level 4 at the moment. And he is spending a lot of time in that brush, but Miso pushing ever farther forward. And here we go. There's a slow again from the Q front Apple. There's a knockup. Rainover comes in. Miso takes some damage. Has to flash. There's a flash from Rainover there. With the Ignite, they're going for it. Can they finish him off? First blood taken by Rainover. And again, that pressure that the Evelyn brings to the game wouldn't be there if they would have 2v1.
Yeah. But even so, they're getting the Jenner Falcons are getting some good pressure onto the spot lane. They're winning the trades down here.
Yeah.
They're up significantly in terms of CS as well. So the advantage when you have is when you do have this very long-range zone-based combo of Caitlyn and Zyra that in a 2v2 you can at least hold Lucian and Thresh back a bit.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of damage being put on this turret already. Betkill and Lasha trying their best, but not the best wave clear on that side of things.
No, not yet at the very least. Now,
No.
Nunu coming down into the bottom lane at the moment. Evelyn there as well. Rainover heading over to his double golems. And you can see Nunu, again, we've seen this before when people play Evelyn. They put wards in places where Evelyn is going to be farming. Because that's how the best way to find her in the jungle. And that's exactly what Real Foxy just did. He looped through the jungle, put down those deep wards just so that his dual lane could feel comfortable about continuing to shove forward and deny Betkyo and Lasha.
Now by double golems and raids. A little bit of damage put onto Boruna there, and it is so smart because we're at a point in League of Legends now where each person can only have one pink ward out on the map, so it's not like before where you could throw these vision wards out to keep track of her. So yeah, putting wards where you know she'll be visible. Very, very smart.
I do really like the way that teams are starting to do this, and now
makes a
in
lot of
air,
sense.
coming around the side.
Yep, a little bit of damage on a Rainover. The snowball will slow him down, and Boruna doing some damage. There's a nice body slam. Really clean. No, Real Foxy taken out. Maybe not as clean as I thought. Yeah.
Coming in and bursting down Real Foxy, who doesn't have a whole lot of combat stats yet.
Nope.
So easy to tag at level 6 with that ultimate from Kuro, and also using the Ignite. So good little bit of counterplay right there.
Meanwhile, the top lane, about as much action as top lane sees between two tanks. A tale of two tanks.
It's not a book I would want to read.
It's very long.
And very heavy, too.
That's right. It was the best of CSing times. It was the worst of CSing times. Oh, Boruna, worst of times for him as he gets caught by that snare from Evelyn, and Rainover coming in with the hate spikes to finish him off. Oh, they won't get it. No, Kuro will get it. Rainover had to back off. Ignite nearly finishing him along with those turrets. Mystic gets absolutely caught. Takes some damage there, manages to trade effectively though, but you need to be careful. You can't let that kind of thing happen.
This Nunu is just doing nothing. Like this is what I find so frustrating about teams playing Nunu is I feel like he's inevitably used incorrectly.
It's like Bengi's the only one who can play Nunu correctly right now.
He's the only one who's allowed to play Nunu.
Yeah. Nunu banned elsewhere.
Everybody else just sits in the jungle and farms, and yes, he's tanky. Yes, he provides good zone, and he can help carry in the late game, but with the emphasis on these early game junglers and how much Rainover's been able to affect this game already.
Yeah. No, it really is a bit crazy that Real Foxy hasn't been able to really put any pressure onto any of the lanes in this game.
And sure, yeah, he's had some good wards, but he can do that with any jungler. Here we go.
Bit of an invade on this red buff here. They have the ward there. Rainover coming in.
Yeah.
Rainover may get caught. There's a hate spike. Rainover in huge trouble now. Pops his ultimate. Can he finish off Real Foxy? No, not quite.
Well, he's got to be careful. Okuro's still there. Everybody rotating up, but Jin Air Falcons, they've got that bottom lane pressure right now, and they'll be able to take the red. Good play from them.
Oh, Culling used a bit too late. Vecchio couldn't really engage in that, was too low health already. And yeah, he's just going to recall. Meanwhile, Miso doing some of that dirty farming, basically with Shyvana. As soon as you know the jungler is not a problem, just get behind the turret.
Yeah, Haunting Guy start on Zac. That's very interesting. So going for more of a high damage Zac build in this game. And Kuro trying to steal, he doesn't get it.
That was close, man. Oh, speaking of close, Lasha gets caught, but seems like he might just barely make it out. Miso and Apple duking it out in that top lane, and meanwhile in bot, everybody gets away, everyone separates.
That was very clever by Kuro. He knew that Smite was down because he saw it used on the red buff steal, so that he knew that there was a chance that he might be able to outburst, even though, of course, Nunu has consumed.
It was a good attempt.
It was a good attempt.
It's not easy to steal against a Nunu, but it was a good attempt.
Well, Jin Air Falcons evening everything back up here, but yeah, pretty big CS lead still for them in the bottom lane as well. Vecchio and Lasha falling pretty far behind. And we talked about this before the last game, but Vecchio's laning phase a lot of the time isn't very good. It's that positioning in the team fights, his Vayne mechanics that really carry him through to the late game.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going for possibly that Bloodthirster first on Lucian this time, getting that BF sword.
Yep, solid build.
Yep. And so, top lane. All right, there we go. That was the top lane.
And there's a real lack of tankiness on Aya number 2 as well, just due to this Zac's build. So they've got to be pretty cautious with how they play out if they can start getting into team fights anytime soon. They're going to be much better at setting up picks with this composition than they are a full 5v5 against two extremely tanky champions like Shyvana and Nunu. They got to create the picks, and we got to see this Evelyn continue to work on the lanes. Reignover needs to have more of an effect, more of a presence into the mid game.
He's been involved with all 3 of the kills so far on the IM2 side of things. But then again, Real Foxy's been involved in their kills as well. Oh, hello. Lantern spots Real Foxy as he comes into lane. He's real obvious now.
He is real obvious. Obviously Foxy, but they're not going to clear up that pink ward. They know it's sitting in the river right there. They can't get an angle on it yet. It doesn't look like Evelyn wants to come down and make herself known.
Makes sense.
We need these towers to start going down, or the Jin Air Falcons do.
Yeah, they've been able to put decent pressure on so far, but ooh, they need to keep worrying about this. Boruna uses that explosive catch. There's a flash from Reignover. Ooh, a little bit over-ambitious here. Thought he could maybe get Boruna a bit lower than he could.
Well, he forced a flash out of Gragas, though, and that's going to help significantly. Kuro wants to get a kill on it a little bit later. Real Foxy waiting in the brush, but they're just trying to clear it out.
Apple backing off immediately with that slingshot as Miso comes in.
The attempt at a death sentence right there, but yeah, they know that Real Foxy's waiting in the brush.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get this push done. This tower is nearly dead. With Nunu's help, they may be able to finally take it out. There we go.
And Blood Boil on Caitlyn, and that turret at a little bit under health. They should be able to get it without too much issue. They're going to back off, though. I suppose they don't know where Evelyn is at this point.
They also don't. They're afraid of LeBlanc mostly, because Kuro kind of faked a rotation because he knew there weren't any wards there thanks to the pink that his team put down just north of the red buff. And so they just don't want to die, don't want to overextend themselves in a dicey situation.
Yeah, better safe than sorry for sure.
So Nunu's going to do white and then return as soon as he sees Evelyn. This is actually, okay, so this is how the Nunu should be played. So I'm glad we're seeing this right now. Go ahead, get the Blood Boil down, get the tower down, and then we'll see if they want to make a rotation after that. So this is good. I'm happy that we're seeing this with Real Foxy at this stage of the game.
Oh, explosive cask. He tried to knock Kuro under the turret, but didn't end up working out. There we go. First turret in the favor of the Jin Air Falcons. I am number 2 on their back foot for the moment.
Yeah, go clear out the pink ward right there in the tri-brush, and then make see if they make an immediate move to the mid lane right here. Boruna, of course, once he gets his ult back up, can use it to knock people off of turret.
Boruna getting bursted pretty hard by Kuro, but they do manage to trade life. pretty evenly. Rainover thinking about coming down, but Real Foxy is right there.
Yeah, continue to take out both pink wards. That's nice work from the Falcons.
Yeah.
And there's a timing window right here where they can just push really hard because the blue's getting taken. But nope, they're going back to pick up some buffs out of the jungle instead. Bro, not the most health either, and that'll actually just trigger Mystic to go back down into the bottom lane. You know, right there, once the Gragas ult comes back up and Caitlyn ult is up as well, you can really just poke somebody off a tower extremely easily by comboing them with those two abilities, and then use that time that they have to go to base to take the tower out. But they have to be decisive. This is the time where the Jin Air Falcons need to be decisive in their rotations.
Yeah, they can't
in order to
be-
maximize the power spike that they're going to have.
Well, they definitely can't be lackadaisical like they were last game. You know, I mean, they had a very easy opponent in game number 1, but you know, now they have to jump right in against IM number 2. It's probably the strongest team in this group.
Yep. Bloodthirster's now done as well. They need to push these towers.
Yeah.
This is a really great power spike opportunity for the Falcons. But Caitlyn going back down into that bottom lane. The thing is, if Caitlyn goes mid right now, they will force the duo lane to hit mid at the same time because they just have to push with 4.
And for now, just being content to push the lanes up a bit.
This is...
Well, they want that dragon, I suppose.
Still,
Vision Ward.
yeah, no, looks like they will be able to pull the drag. See if they actually started or not. There's the death sentence missing right there. Just clearing out vision, clearing out those wards. There's another one going in the back of the pit. Mystic will have no trouble taking that out.
They should really know that there's a ward right where they were given that. The death sentence was tried over the wall. But, well, actually, I take it back. Real Foxy does have the sweeping ones available. So does Kish.
There's more dancing right here. Rainover gets spotted out over the wall. And he will be able to take out that ward right there. Good pink location. They're trying to introduce as much uncertainty as possible, but nice ward will actually see the pink.
Ooh.
So Mystic throwing down his ward totem in order to pick that one up.
Oh, they're going for it. The Baron coming in from the Jin Air Falcons. Is there anything that IM2 can do about this? Baron getting, or Baron Dragon getting low. They claim it. 2,000 gold lead now at 16 minutes. Not too bad for the Jin Air Falcons.
Yeah, Apple needs to do something right here. They've got to make some sort of play on the map because the Jin Air Falcons are starting to open up this game. And they're going to try and rush down the mid tower after the recall. And nice zoning by Apple.
Oh, yeah, giving his best shot. Mystic firing away though at Apple. Oh, good Lantern. Lasha manages to save his teammate, and they get that first turret.
That was really nicely done
Yeah.
by IM number 2.
Well coordinated.
Yeah, good planning right there to have Apple zone people out of the back and use that pressure to go ahead and take out the mid turret. And that's going to make pressing the mid tower for the Jin Air Falcons about 1,000,000 times harder because Apple's playing Zac in any rotation. If he gets behind them and can get a flank with the elastic slingshot to get the ult off, they've got a long way to run to make it back to safety. So it's very critical that IM number 2 takes down that mid tower against this sort of fast push composition.
It is interesting coming into this one. I feel like we do have kind of a toss-up between these teams where we haven't seen them in their current forms play a whole lot, you know? We've seen a little bit, but not a whole lot. And you can't, it's based on the previous games, too. So, it's a fun one.
True.
So far, it's been pretty even.
Yeah, it's been very even. Okay, so now the mid lane pushing starting here for Jin Air. And I really feel like they made the wrong choice, like going for that dragon right there, just because their comp is better off sieging it in lane. And losing that mid tower is incredibly important in terms of slowing down their strategy.
I suppose there is one where if you...
Here Zac comes.
Oh. There's a box zoning out a little bit. Miso gets caught.
Zac's
Tyrell
in there.
over the top. That's right. They caught Apple for a moment. Zac not doing a lot because of the follow-up. Rainover coming in, though, trying to do damage from the back. Meanwhile, Real Foxy chasing people away. There's a kill from Boruna. Rainover trying to go in on the mix stick. He gets him. Rainover with a double kill already, doing work in Jin Air's team. And IM turns this one around in a big way. A double kill from Boruna. Still, for the moment, going in IM number 2's favor. And yeah, they catch Boruna down at the bottom. Nothing he can do. Tries to turn around on it, but that is it. 2 for 4, and a great fight for IM.
That's the danger, right? That's how critical that mid lane tower going down was, is that it allowed, they pushed up, they had nowhere to run, they couldn't siege safely, and Apple was able to freely rotate, get into that back line, and they bottled themselves up right in the jungle and allowed Apple to get a big ultimate down onto multiple members.
Bottled up like a fairy in a Zelda
look
game.
at this. Oh, just really nice ultimate over the side right there. And the flank, look at that, 4-man Evelyn ult as well. So what looked like getting caught out was just a lot of CC in a corridor hitting onto the Jin Air Falcons. And Lucian's not even there for most of this fight, only getting there later on. But Kuro and Rainover getting that flank onto the back line, and Miso and Real Foxy really over pursuing right there and leading their very squishy back line to be destroyed by Evelyn and LeBlanc.
Wow. Yeah, Boruna tried to turn, but which Evelyn is the real Evelyn?
LeBlanc.
A question for the ages. Yeah, that's which LeBlanc is the real LeBlanc. You just can't see Evelyn.
Okay, well, I mean, with that fight, IM number 2 does take a slight lead.
What are those things on the back of Evelyn's, like, sleeves? Are those... Is that like a cape kind of thing?
I don't know. It looks really
I've always
uncomfortable
wondered.
to wear, though.
Yeah, like, what is it for? It just sort of trails up behind you when you run around?
It just gets tangled in things while you're walking by.
For someone who's trying to be invisible, I feel like that's not what you want in your clothes.
Definitely not. Yeah. Besides, she's invisible anyway, so it can't be for style reasons.
That's
right?
true. Nobody can appreciate her great style. Really, there shouldn't even be any Evelyn skins because nobody can appreciate it anyway. Just
That's
can't see
true.
it. Yeah.
Why are there Evelyn skins?
Oh, so many holes in the lore. Oh, hurts.
That's a great point, though. I feel like there should be an Emperor's New Clothes Evelyn skin.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Let's see. We just can't see her the entire time, and you tell your friends how great your new Evelyn skin is, and they're like, yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Yep. I think it's time for Lucian to have another skin as well. I think there's so many gunslinger like opportunity skins. You could have like Dirty Harry Lucian, or something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be cool. Be like, did my passive proc 5 times or 6? Well, in all this trading in the bot lane, I forgot. Well, Miso getting chased out of the mid lane.
They're doing a good job putting down pressure, though. So Jin Air Falcons, they have to keep moving forward here. They've got good wards on the flanks. You can see they're being very cautious.
Yeah.
But pink ward will get cleared out as IM number 2 comes down. And what's their map movement going to be? 15 seconds till Dragons, so they push down all the way to the tier 2 turret. And then turn onto the Dragon and attempt to take it.
Yeah. Did you mean Shyvana when you meant turn onto the Dragon and attempt to take it? Seemed
that's
like that's what
exactly,
Apple was trying to do.
That's exactly what I meant.
I thought so.
Dragon's live.
Yeah, here we go. I am coming down. And Jin Air in a bit of an awkward situation. Miso could flank. It really depends. And actually, Kish could have the opportunity for a great ultimate. We'll see. And here we go. They're coming in. People in the turret 3. There, Kish throws the roots in there, manages to grab him. Real Foxy stole Dragon, actually. Now it's on IM to turn this fight around. Rainover gets bursted down almost immediately. Lasha with a box. Oh, he can't bring anyone into it with the flay. And Apple doing a bit of work, but just gets caught behind enemy lines. His passive is proc. Miso finishes off Lasha. And this fight is all Jin Air. Boruna, gets taken down, but Vecchio might pay
Zac
for it.
is revived.
That's right, the barrier was popped, but Apple can't save his AD carry. And Miso chasing down Zac. I think we'll see if he can get away. It's going to be one of those long chases, man. It's like a Bugs Bunny chase right here. Oh, there we go. Okay, he gets away.
Yeah, he will get away. There's not enough CC in order to keep him there, prevent him from using that elastic slingshot when it comes off cooldown. So, well, Jin Air Falcons getting a lot of AoE.
Yeah.
And they, not only that, but Real Foxy was just in a perfect position. It's so dangerous to do some of these dragons against Rinu or Barons, just because, of course, he does have that bigger steal potential. because he can outburst other junglers, but also because if he gets in the choke at the front of one of those pits, he creates this massive zone that
let's watch this again.
Pain in the ass to deal with. And yeah, this is just great positioning from Real Foxy. Gets the dragon, then look at this. He'll just stand right here and cut everybody off. Betco just gets stuck in the back of the pit, ran him over, ends up taking a full channel, absolute zero as well. So I have to say, gotta head to Real Foxy. I think he is doing a pretty good job with Nunu this game.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the kind of lack of pressure in the early game, he's really come around in the mid game. And Goruna maybe should have backed off a bit more there. Vecchio had that barrier. And here we go. Back to the game. A 3,000 gold lead for the Jin Air Falcons.
Yeah, not too much, all things considered. They weren't able to follow up with any subsequent towers after the fight. Everybody pretty low right there, so this is still within IM's reach, but
yeah.
Jin Air looking strong. This Shyvana getting stronger and stronger as well. Blade of the Ruined King really going to be problematic for the back line of IM. And Vecchio is caught up a little bit in terms of CS, so he's not doing quite as poorly as he was early on in the laning phase.
Speaking of problematic, how in the world does Shyvana like eat a piece of pizza with those gloves? No idea.
Dragon hands. She just uses her mouth. She just
guess.
goes mouth first,
she
straight
just,
into
like,
the
holds
pizza.
onto the pizza.
Face plants right into it.
She can do it. She can cook it herself too.
Oh, it's true.
Shyvana roasted pizza. She ever gets tired of the fields of justice, she can just go into business, make the pizza.
But she can only do it every once in a while. She has to wait for.
She has to get really
angry
angry
for her.
That's right. Oh, Mystic takes a lot of damage from Kuro. There's a nice ultimate coming in from Rainover. Oh, Absolute Zero with a good zone, and Rainover a big caught now. Fasha comes in with the box, doesn't catch a lot of people though with it. Yet again, Real Foxy goes down though, so in the end, a bit of a win for IM number 2. Yeah, they get the kill.
They relieve the pressure though, which is really the important thing. They've got to buy themselves some time and stall out this siege competition. They had to use Flash on Evelyn to do it, but he did hit a 4-person Agony's Embrace.
It's all about that engage for both of these teams.
Okay, well, just popping over real quickly.
Yep, throwing down a ward.
That was a very safe way to ward that brush.
So, yeah.
A little bit concerned over the pick. They've got control over their jungle again, and Miso's still causing a lot of problems in terms of split pushing. Apple is really able to contend 1v1 with this Shyvana.
Yeah, he's able to kind of hang around for a little bit, but in the end, Shyvana's going to push him back every single time at this point.
Apple still, though, another big game from this guy. He's 3-0-4. We saw how strong he was on the Shyvana in the first game, so he's been grouping very nicely with his team.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable fitting into this IM number 2 team.
I think it's a great pickup for IM2 to grab Apple after
I agree.
Quantic.
You know, speaking of pickup for IM number 2, some people may not know this, but actually Paragon, the former AD carry for IM number 1, that then played for CTU, I believe it was, is now back on IM number 2 as a sub for AD carry.
He was on Team OP.
Team OP, that's what it was, yeah.
But yes, he didn't qualify last season. We did see him attempt to get through the qualifiers for Champions Winter. Didn't make it.
But back on IM now.
Back on IM?
Yeah. And he was one of the original IM players as well, too, so a lot of history with that team.
We'll see if we ever see him in a game again. First off, IM number 2, if they want to use him, has to make it through this qualifiers, and they are a little bit behind right here. Miso,
yeah, it's not
just standing in a brush. Apple uses Elastic Slingshot and takes a tremendous amount of damage from this very aggressive Shyvana played by Miso.
And he's got his passive available, but I'm pretty sure he wants to save that for a team fight.
Reina, we're trying to come over so they can do something about this dragon infestation in the top lane. LeBlanc showing up as well.
That's the worst kind of infestation, man. A dragon infestation.
Really sucks.
Yeah, man. They're so hard to get rid of. Mostly because they kill any of the exterminators you send after them.
Now they sit on all giant piles of gold.
I know, right?
Take all your money and then sit on it.
Yep. Strangely, they sound like Benedict Cumberbatch when they speak. I don't get it. Like, why?
I hope Shyvana doesn't sound like Benedict Cumberbatch when she speaks.
Maybe Shyvana does. It's more speaking about dragons in general, you know? Yep. Maybe he's going to be like the default go-to Dragon Voice guy from now on, you know? Who knows? And Jin Falcons trying to go for this Dragon. They managed to steal the last one off of a combo from Real Foxy. There's the culling to try to push them back. The Dragon is taken. Rainover comes in. Gets a little bit caught. Has to take a ride out on the Lantern. Snowball follows Rainover. Here comes Zach, though. They've got to watch out for that counter engage. Apple looking for an opportunity. Great counter engage. Oh, a huge ult from Zach. Miso zoning well, though. Bekyo has to top off, has to use that box. If he can get back into the fight, he can shred Jin Air, but he has to go on the run. Kuro goes down early. A close call for the Jin Air Falcons.
Bekyo still trying to duel right here. There's a Shyvana ultimate coming in. That'll save him.
Yeah, Bekyo stuck around a little bit too long. It was so close, man. That was like pixels away from being a fight that was all IM2.
Well, I am number 2. The thing is, Kuro got caught when he tried to W into the back line.
Yeah.
And he just got blown up by Jin Air. So they were really on top of Kuro's attempt to get in and get out of that team fight quickly. So he died before he could do much of anything.
Yep.
The other thing is, I am number 2. They've got to make picks. They've got to pick composition. They're not set up to win these team fights at this point in time. So Bekyo coming here for a little bit of a poke. Rainover, it's a little scrambled in the back line, goes back to collect the Lantern.
Yeah, so watch Kuro.
Yeah, watch Kuro right here. It's just a really good turn. They were so ready for this to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he went back on top of the barrel. So he
Yeah.
actually went back on top of it, and
Whoops.
Boruna was just waiting for it to trigger his Q.
Oh, that's really smart, actually. Throw it where LeBlanc was.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So now more ward clearing for I am number 2.
Yep.
There we go. There's so close to making a pick, but that's what
Yeah.
they've got to do.
Well, Kuro's damage is pretty scary right now. He's got his Death Cap, he's got his Athenes, he's got his Magic Penetration Boots, so he's doing a decent amount of damage. He's still way behind Boruna, who has all that, and a Void Staff, and a Negatron Cloak, but Kuro still is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he'll be able to nearly 100-0 Miso and Real Foxy at this point.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard for the Jin Air Falcons to ward against this properly as well, just because they've got 2 champions that can come over walls in LeBlanc and Zach, as well as if a death sentence lands this Thresh, and then they've got to deal with the invisibility of Evelyn as well. So it's particularly challenging to ward because they can come at you from so many different angles and over terrain as well.
And so the warding around Baron begins.
They're not going to be able to probably take that for quite a while. This game is so close. And
oh, there's a culling. A little bit of damage onto Miso. Kuro adding onto that with his AP. Rainover seen, but has not attacked quite yet. A little bit of damage onto Mystic. And now can they beat the siege? Oh, Miso coming over the top, right onto Kuro. Bekyo separated from his team. Could be pretty good. Nice ultimates from the Jin Air Falcons, and they claim Kuro immediately.
it's amazing that they're able to lock down Kuro like this on LeBlanc.
They've got a system in place that's
yes, they
working
do.
very well.
It's really interesting counterplay to LeBlanc from Gragas right here, and not something that I've seen used this reliably before.
Well, it kind of really shows you what players with good mechanics can do, you know?
Oh, here we go. They're trying to do it. Shyvana is not there right now. This is a dangerous call.
Yeah, Baron's still going down. Oh, Apple doesn't quite hit Mystic. There we go. And Lasha comes in. Baron taken by Real Foxy, so Jin Air's got it. Apple in a little bit of trouble back in No Man's Land. They blocked the Lantern with wards, so we couldn't get out.
That
Still,
was
yeah.
very nicely done. They
Still
stood,
managed to make it.
They
Oh, no,
ward-
they didn't, yeah.
They stood and warded on the Lantern location, so he couldn't get out.
Right, yep.
Very nicely played by the Jin Air Falcons, who
You gotta do.
are looking a lot better than we saw them in Masters. They've
you
really
cannot quit that lane.
done work over the past few days.
Yeah, they really have. And there's the Baron, there's the turret. Now this could very well be an inhibitor, depending on how fast they can push through this. And I think it's going to be pretty quick. I think this is undeniably an inhibitor.
Yeah. They really opened up the
There it
gold
goes.
lead right there to over 10,000 from a very slight gold lead before that. So taking objective after objective after objective.
Yeah, I am too. So close. Nearly catching Kuro again. Managed to teleport away. And there goes another turret. Man, they have gotten so much off of this team fight.
Just
3
insane.
turrets and an inhibitor off of that Baron. Pretty amazing. And Miso can just kind of split push right now.
There's nothing that can really stop him. I mean, this is why we don't see Zach. I feel like there's a reason we haven't been seeing Zach and Shannon have been displayed in the last couple of games.
I think you're absolutely right. Some questionable picks in the top lane today.
So taking a look at this again, Apple goes in. They're not going to get the steal on the Baron, not with that new there. Apple gets locked up, and there's the Lantern, and look at them just spamming wards on top of it.
2 wards, everybody stands on it. And that is it.
Yep, just clean up after that. Miso and Real Foxy able to chase down Lasha.
Well, that's a really nice thing is that because Lasha waited so long for Apple to get a chance to click the Lantern, that meant they could catch him too. So really all that warding and blocking of the Lantern got them 2 kills actually.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Baruna just checking the brush carefully. Probably gonna toss down a ward after he clears it out. Or not.
Kish will do it for him.
That's right. Oh, sure. The support always has to ward. Nobody else wards.
Oh, here we go. They try to make a pick.
They jumped on a Rainover. Oh, really nice ultimate. Rainover is not going to make it out of that one. Really good pick. And they cannot afford to sustain those types of losses right now. I mean, they can't lose a single person to things like that if they want to have any chance of coming back.
Although I think their chances of coming back are quite slim now indeed.
I agree.
There's just nothing to stop the Shyvana's split push. She's such a monster.
Yeah. Literally. Here comes Apple, jumps onto Mystic, gets the ultimate, but still so separated. Miso zoning well. Mystic can turn and fire, and Miso still with half health. Comes in with Burnout again, and now Barun is on the scene. Real Foxy with that Blood Boil on Mystic. Mystic is doing so much damage. They can team fight and go for the inhibitor. A nice grab, though. Gets cleansed.
Yeah, the kills Crucible to get him out of it.
That's right.
So not taking any chances. But yeah, like
Nice
you're saying,
move by
Mystic
Kish.
has Phantom Dancer as well. He didn't go for the Shiv this game, so his attack speed is through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty huge.
With the Blood Boil.
Blood is boiling. And now for the bottom. Minion gets grabbed. Not exactly what Lasha wants. There goes the turret. They just kill turrets so quick. Oh, there we go. The flash explosive cast. Vecchio, can they block the shot? They can. It was Rainover, though. They're going to give up the inhibitor. All 3 inhibitors down. And this Jin Air Falcons team has just turned into a steamroller, man. Nobody's stopping them. A nice 4-man ultimate from Rainover. Can they capitalize on this? I don't think so. Mystic just does way too much. The mobility is huge.
That was a great flash on the LeBlanc engage as well.
Totally. There goes Lasha. More damage. Baruna gets the kills. There goes the Nexus turrets. They want more kills, man. They're not done yet. KDA doesn't count quite yet. There goes the Nexus. And the Jin Air Falcons will cruise their way into Champion Spring.
Yep. Well,
Really well played.
so at least one Jin Air team will be in Champions. Of course, their sister team, the Stealths, fell out earlier on in the qualifiers.
Which is kind of surprising to think about because up until very recently, everybody was looking at the Stealths as the stronger of the 2 teams.
Well, I still think they are the stronger of the 2 teams. We've seen that they've been the one performing in Masters. But I am number 2. They've got another shot later tonight. They've got another 2 shots later tonight, really.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Even if IM2, well, I guess, even if IM2 loses out here, they're still going to be in that wild card match after this group is done.
Indeed. So, a lot more League of Legends happening. That's 3 out of 8 games down.
Yeah, man.